New research has found a gene that looks to be the reason why rabbits and perhaps all bouncing mammals hop. Using an unusual type of rabbit called a satyr dalfor, which doesn't hop but runs on its front paws like a handstand, scientists have found a specific gene called RORB that's missing in these rabbits. Defects in this gene may have damaging effects in all mammals though, not just rabbits. Adam Murphy spoke to Leif Andersson from Uppsala University about these bizarre bunnies.
So they have a defect in the coordination of forelimbs and hind limbs. The very peculiar thing is that when they would like to move fast, to hop, they can't do that. They can't do the jump that rabbits do at high speed. Then they learn to instead walk on their forelimbs, like a human walking on their hands.
So then how does that work? How do you use these rabbits to figure out what was going on?
In order to do this genetic analysis, you need to have a pedigree, which is where you find both normal and rabbits with a problem. So we generated this pedigree so that we got 25% that couldn't hop and 75% that could hop. And then we screen their genome to identify the genomic region, the gene underlying this, and the causal mutation. And by that process, we were able to identify the mutation that we are 100% sure is the mutation causing this defect.
Do we have any idea how the lack of that gene results in the strange lack of hopping?
Gait in all vertebrates is highly dependent on a functional spinal cord. So the spinal cord is filled with neurons that is receiving inputs from the brain and also from sensory organs. And that is translated into instructions to the muscles how to contract, to coordinate the limbs during movement. And ROR beta is expressed in a specific type of neurons in the spinal cord. And when we then explore the spinal cord from these rabbits, we see that they are lacking the normal ROR beta neurons. So the conclusion from this is that the ROR beta neurons in the spinal cord is critical for normal gait in rabbits. And there's a previous study indicating that that is the case for mouse. So we expect it to be true for all mammals.
If this thing is in other mammals, how come we don't all bounce like rabbits?
So what you should remember is that all species have their different gaits that they're using, and they use the gaits at different speeds. So a rabbit walk at slow speed, but when it has to run away, then it jumps because that is the fastest gait for the rabbit. A horse can walk, trot, and gallop. And you could say they use basically the same setup of genes, but the wiring in the spinal cord varies from species to species. So it's not like that you add ROR beta to a mouse and it starts to jump. You need to generate the wiring that the rabbit has, so to speak. In fact, over lunch, I was watching a magpie walk, basically like a rabbit, you could say, when at slow speed, but when it has more hurry, then it starts to jump. So the same thing occurs in fact in birds, how they coordinate legs and wings when also. ROR beta play a role probably in most or all mammals with regard to gait control, but the loss of ROR beta may have different effects in different species because of how the spinal cord is wired, you could say.
Leif Andersson there, and that work is just out in the journal PLOS Genetics.